Hey everybody, I'm Brandon.
I'm Brian.
Welcome back to another show of the Workshop Review. Here we are at the Lake Erie Toolworks. We got Nick and Jeff with us, and they make these fantastic products that you may have seen us tease in an earlier video. This one right here happens to be their large Moxon Vise, and it just so happens we're going to review one this month.
Not only that, we're going to give one away. Not only that, you're going to get a choice. You got the choice between a full-size Moxon Vise and the light version of the Moxon Vise. So, not only are we giving tools away, you guys get to pick which one you want.
Yes. So, stay tuned. We're going to show you how these things are made a little bit. We're going to talk about them, and we're going to put it to the test.
So we started Lake Erie Toolworks a little over 10 years ago, actually. We're going into our 10th year now. Started in July of 2008. Whole purpose behind it initially was to build workbenches. But we were starting this as a home-based business, and hauling a workbench in and out of a basement got to be a little bit of a challenge at first blush. So we kind of scaled down just a bit and said, where can we go from there? And Nick had actually worked at a local company that made organ supply company parts for pipe organs and such, and he used these great workbenches that had these old-fashioned wooden vice screws on them. So as he was using those, it's like, man, what a great product. And he came up and knocked on my door and said, hey, why don't we... And all of a sudden, we started looking into wood vice screw production. Next thing you know, we're exploring CNC, and we're purchasing CNC equipment and building prototypes. And literally over the course of many months, actually, honed the design, came up with a great saleable product, and we launched this in 2009 at one of the popular woodworking events in Philadelphia, and that became our kind of start. We have actually been selling nonstop since then. We've expanded the product line, gone from normal wooden bench vices, we've added wagon vices, we've added shoulder vices, we've added our standard nuts that go into the product for smaller workbenches. We've added extended nuts for the wagon and shoulder vise to make it easier for people when they're installing it. The other thing is we got into Moxon Vises. We make fully wooden Moxon Vises, the normal version, as well as our light version, which is a little bit smaller, a little more compact, easy to use. The bright spot about Moxon Vises, you don't necessarily need a workbench to hold and clamp it onto. You can do it on a kitchen table. You can go outside and put it on a picnic table and clamp it down. It works great either way. But if you're a woodworker or a carpenter or a hobbyist, do-it-yourselfer, and you want a good, solid, stable vise to help craft your products and your projects that you're working on, these are great vices. They really are. The biggest challenge that we've seen is getting across to people what's the difference between a wood vise and other types of vices that are out there. Typically, a wood vise, it's very fast, it's very smooth. Our 2X new vise that we've launched recently has the ability to do one full turn, 1 inch in and out per revolution, so very fast. But the other thing I mentioned, very smooth, extremely smooth, so that when they're burnished and waxed properly and such, and they're used, they work like a dream. So we're going to continue to expand the product line into additional vices, but other woodworking tools in the near future, and you'll be hearing and seeing more of that coming up shortly. But otherwise, we're here. We've been around for 10 plus years, going strong, and we got a lot more up our sleeve. So that's Lake Erie Toolworks. You can actually buy them online at www.lakeerietoolworks.com. And we actually also have a lot of fine distributors in the US as well as around the globe that you can purchase these from.
Okay guys, here we are back in my shop for once instead of Brian's. We were just up at Lake Erie Toolworks. You saw us up there. You met Jeff and Nick, a couple of great guys. And this month we're going to talk about these Moxon Vises specifically. Now that you may have noticed that they make all sorts of vices up there, from bench vices, wagon vices, kits. The clamp gauges that we reviewed previously all came from these guys. So if you haven't checked them out, make sure you go check them out. This month we are excited because we have the Moxon Vises.
Yeah, so the vices, they come in 2 different sizes. They have the regular size and a light version of it. We did a little measuring here, and we determined that between the screws on the light version, you can put a 14-inch wide panel in there to cut your joinery, and on the regular version, what is it, 24 inches?
24 inches.
2 foot wide, which I can't imagine doing casework with sides wider than 2 feet,
No,
right?
no.
At least not cutting joinery on something that big.
So these Moxons are a benchtop Moxon. You could attach them to a bench if you had one, but the idea behind these is that you can really clamp them down onto any flat surface that you have and use them, or incorporate them in any fashion that would work for you. So they are extremely mobile. Both of them are actually, they're great size. We'll get you a little close up on the different parts and sizes of these, but honestly, these are very, very, very well made. Beautiful clear maple.
It's hard maple.
Hard maple.
Clear as in no defects, but
Clear as in no defects.
Yep, hard maple.
But hard
construction.
maple. Yep.
Surprisingly light.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
They're not, super heavy. Like if you wanted to go do some, I don't know, work outside at your picnic table or whatever, it's not difficult to take one of these with you.
So here's a close-up of the pieces. This is the light version, which you can see has considerably smaller screws than the larger version. All done with CNC, and then hand sanded on the tips here to smooth it all over. Just beautifully done. So in traditional fashion, we're gonna give this baby a little test run. Clamping up another piece of maple here. And this is the smaller Moxon. Doing work strips.
Let's see. Boy, they tighten up too, don't they?
They really tighten up with like no effort. They're bam tight.
Like once it's there, it's just another quarter turn. And
Yeah, it's as tight as it needs to go.
so looking at these screws a little bit more, one thing that we're really noticing is that it does not take a lot of pressure to fully tighten this thing. So here it is, hand tight, another quarter turn, and that's as tight as I can get it. I mean, I'm really turning on it, and I can't even get it any tighter. But loosening it right back up, it just comes right off. It's really amazing. This, a wooden screw in wooden threads can tighten that tight that quickly.
I gotta tell you, it takes nothing for it to squeeze the bejeebus out of my fingers. Like just actually feeling the grip, because that's what we do here. We go the extra mile for you viewers, even if it means squeezing the heck out of our hands, just to tell you that wow, this really squeezes tight. we'll do it for you.
It does.
I told you, it really takes nothing. He didn't believe me. Like, it doesn't even feel like it should be.
That really is amazing though. Like, you screw it until there's no space left, and like that, maybe not even a quarter of a turn on the late version. It's that's tight, very tight.
And let's not forget, I mean, like we said, it's extremely mobile. Even this being the big one. Pick it up, hang it on a wall even, mount it to a bench, whatever you want.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
So, the Moxon Vise here definitely held way better than this old rickety bench did, that's for sure. So a new bench is probably going to be in the future. However, the feel of these wooden screws is just amazing. Like, you really feel the connection to the piece that you're working with, and it's quite delightful. Brian, what did you think?
I'm really excited to put one of these in my shop. I'm really into the hand cutting joinery, and this is going to make that so much easier. They're, when it comes down to it, looking at one of these things, it's pretty simple, right? You got a backer board, you got your chop, and you got some screws. But to see how they're made, and the care and effort that's put into making these things, it really makes it a special tool.
This is really a must-have for anybody out there with a wood shop. Honestly, probably all of their products are necessary for a wood shop. I know, like I mentioned, in the future I might have to be building a bench. I know where I'll go to get my hardware, that's for sure.
To think that this entire vise is made out of wood is just incredible. And the fit and finish on these screws, this is really the heart of the vise, you know what I mean? And the fit and finish on these things is just fantastic. You screw them in and you clamp on your workpiece and it's not going anywhere. After working on it for a little bit, they don't loosen up on you or anything. They just, you cinch them down and it stays.
And it's wood on wood.
And it's just, it's a really nice feeling to use one. It's definitely more of a personal feeling, you know what I mean, when you're using a tool like this. And it's definitely one of those, you get into your shop and it makes you want to use it.
And you have that kind of traditional feel along with it, which is really nice for, some woodworkers really prefer that, especially the hand tool workers. Really the only care that you got to do out of the box is you need to wax your threads, and it comes with no finish on it. So if you want to finish the top or the front for safety, or or just to make it prettier, go ahead, do it up. Other than that, go clamp something up. So two sizes of Moxon vises. You have the large and the light, which means two prices, two very reasonable prices.
This light version is going to run you $149, and the regular size of the larger one is $199. So, if you're not one of the lucky winners or the lucky winner to get your hands on one of these, that's all you got to shell out to get one.
And they are well worth the price. So go order yourself one. So there you have it, the Lake Erie Toolworks Moxon Vises.
They are pretty cool. So if you're interested in getting your hands on one of these, we're giving one away, right?
We are.
We are. And like we said in the beginning part of this video, you have a choice. You can either get the light version with the 14 inches of capacity between the screws, or the regular size version with 24 inches between the screws. So go ahead and check the links down in the description of the video. Do all the stuff you got to do to enter that giveaway, and get yourself one of these Moxon Vises, because It's going to be an awesome addition to your shop. I know it is mine.
Yes, absolutely. And for more information on these products and others offered by Lake Erie Toolworks, please visit lakeerietoolworks.com, as well as the links below. In addition to, please subscribe and share. You're helping us by spreading the word.
That's right.
So, until then,
Go build something.
thanks.
See ya.
Anything you want to say about it, Brian? What Brian didn't tell you is that these screws can also be used as clubs if you have some issues, some security issues in your shop, in or around your shop. So that's it. It squeezes stuff.